replay watchers would still be able to learn everything that is about to transpire today. So, listening skills enhancement. First of all, let me introduce you to the general concept of your exam. So, IELTS stands for International English Language Test System. Out of all the English tests available out there in Canadian visa applications, you have CELTIP, you have CAEL, you have CELBAN, meron pang nauuso ngayon si Duolingo. For US, you have the TOEFL, isa sa mga unang exam yan. We have the MET, which is a new exam. For UK, may OET tayo, or the Occupational English Test. In Australia and New Zealand, we have the PTE, or the Pearson's Test in English. If you will be asking me, according to ranking of difficulty, IELTS is still the king of the most difficult exam. Ito pa rin po ang pinakamahirap. So writing and speaking exams will make this test difficult. Therefore, if you have chances to attend a face-to-face lecture or perhaps join us over Zoom, whenever there is an available writing or speaking class, grab it. But listening is going to help a lot of people's cases, particularly those people who are looking for a high OBS. So when you say OBS, that refers to overall band score. For example, I am applying for a student visa in Australia. So what I did, I went over the website of the school in particular. So let's say University of New South Wales, and I'm planning to take a 6-month course. So they will be imposing this requirement to me. Hey, Kevin, based on your application, you have to take an English exam, which is IELTS or PTE. IELTS is very convenient. It's actually one of the cheaper exams available in the market. So you just have to get an OBS of 5 because this is just a 6-month course. So is that achievable? Well, even without preparation, an OBS of 5 is achievable. How and why? Well, on the how side, listening is easy. The national band score of the Philippines is band 7. Listening. So if you can imagine this scenario, there are around 35 to 40,000 test takers of IELTS in the Philippines. And if you get all their scores, we get 7. And let me tell you, out of the 35,000, only about 10 are enrolled in a review center like this. So majority of those test takers, they either did some DIYs or perhaps they didn't even have a chance to get at least a general idea what they have taken in the first place. They just YOLO this exam. Yet, they still managed to get an impressive 7 out of the highest, which is 9. Okay? So here's the scenario. An average test taker got 7 in listening. Reading, let's say 6. That's general training. Speaking, perhaps 5.5. Not a great performance, but was still impressive to the examiner since the person was able to present at least 1 sentence answer, 1 to 2 sentences per question as a response. And writing, that person wasn't able to finish the tasks, the arrangement sucks, you know the deal. In the assessment side, this will not make the cut. And I will only give this person, if I'm the examiner, a band 5. Now, if we add all of them, 7, 6, 5.55, you will still get a band 6. Can you imagine? You will still get a band 6 despite doing that kind of performance, despite doing that kind of exam, even without preparation. Now, of course, this will vary. I have known some people, I'm actually impressed with some results in the past. Let me use one of my friends, for example. My friend in college got 8 in speaking 5 in reading. Overinflated on one side, extremely low on the other. So we all have different skills. Kumbaga sa online game, may dex type, may STR type, may N type, may tank. No? Mukha nga kayong tank eh. Char. Tarot na, joke na. Ayun, masyado naman. Papasok lang namin. Ginagawa na kami natin. Alright, that's the thing. We all have different skills. But in general, listening, let me tell you this, regardless of what exam you may find difficult, listening is still going to be the easiest out of the four. So may I see the hands of those lucky candidates who only need to get a specific OBS or overall band score. They don't care about the specific individual band. Like, I don't care whether you get 3 in writing or 2 in speaking. I don't care. As long as if we get the total, you get an OBS of 5. Sino po yung mga yan? Yan. Sino po ang magpupunta ng Canada? Taas ang kamay. CLB ang kailangan. CLB. Di ba? Sa Canada po, ang ini-impose na restriction doon is CLB or Canadian Language Band. Yung CLB, similar siya kay OBS. Ang equivalent niya, for example, you need to get a CLB 5. Sino kailangan ng CLB 5? Ikaw, ma'am, kailangan mo ng CLB 5? 5 and up. Anong CLB kailangan mo? Nakalagay. Okay. So, CLB 6, yun. Kasi, si CLB, mas mataas ng isa kaysa sa requirement ng OBS kay adults. Pero may siste, no? Si CLB 6, for example, ang kailangan mo lang daw OBS of 5, listening 5, reading 4.5, writing 4.5, speaking 5. Yun yung kailangan mo specifically. Na nasa fine print na hindi nila dinidisclose. Pero, kapag nangyari, may example lang, may student ako naka 7 sa listening, naka 4 kay reading, sabi nga nila 4.5. Tinanong, pwede na po ba to? Pwede na yan. Nagbibigyan nila. Because they are very lenient when it comes to workers, migrants coming to Canada, especially at this one. CLB, sa UK naman, CEFR. Na, yun naman ang tawag. I just want to share that if you are a candidate who belongs to that particular category, then chances of you getting that visa is going to happen. Extremely going to happen. Huwag ka nang umattend ng class ka, kaya mo. Sabi ko nga, kung ako yung bantay dyan, kung active pa talaga ako sa teaching at nandyan ako palagi, lugi kami. Ilan po ba kailangan yung score? Ay, 4 lang po. Ma'am, mali po ang pinasukan niyo. Doon na po kayo sa tumambay sa McDo. Mag-ano na lang po kayo, mag-Starbucks. Yung ibinigay na baon sa inyo ng nanay niyo, pang nakwatsa niyo na lang po. Lugi kami. Wala na kami magiging students na ganun. Because technically, I haven't encountered a single person. Huwag mo naman sana i-jinx. Sabuyan kita ng mainit na tsae. Okay. So welcome, listening. So your examination, as I've mentioned, IELTS is divided into 2 sections. So we have the written component. So once again, do not be confused. I will and I shall still refer to the listening, reading, writing parts of the test as written component despite having the ability now to take it via computer. So sa Tagalog po, written component lang ang tawag ko at yun pa rin ang itatawag ko sa kanya. Kahit sa computer naman talaga tinitig majority ng exam recently. Para lang di kayo malito. So pag sinabi ni Sir Kevin, written component, ang tinutukoy ko, 3. Listening, reading, writing. In that particular order. Because in the actual exam, you cannot choose how you want to take the test. You need to follow the proper sequence. You will be taking the listening test first, reading coming next, and then writing, which comes last. That's how the order of sequence happens, and we must follow it. So listening. What you need to know about the listening test. Oh, the other section, by the way, is the interview. So we shall be discussing more about that. Or if you have attended the lecture last week by Ma'am Shannon, she was able to explain the skills required for your speaking examination, otherwise known as your speaking skills enhancement or speaking major. So don't worry if you just came in. We will be introducing that specific lesson once again next month. So probably on the first, if not on the second week of February. So the listening test is divided into 4 parts. 2016, ako nag-start magturo dito. 2019, they changed something. Instead of now being referred to as sections, they are now being referred to as parts. So instead of hearing section 1 in your script, you will hear part 1 instead. Okay? That is why if you will be encountering some replays of, let's say, American accent, British accent, Australian accent in that regard, which of course aim to enhance your listening skills. Again, I am highlighting this importance. We are not introducing accent classes because we want you to imitate their accents. The best way for speaking is still the universal accent, or otherwise known as your IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. Now, in the listening aspect, the main skill is to catch up with how fast and to recognize the accent easily. So definitely, if you are not well aware of how other people from other countries speak English, you will really be surprised how critically difficult it is to listen to them, especially the Australian accent. That's very dreadful. All right, you will be learning more about it as we progress. Anyway, so I just want to introduce you the concept. The accent is going to play as a factor, accent training, but not for the speaking, This is for the listening test. So if you're going to encounter some activities that I will be posting as your online practice, then you will still be hearing section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, not part 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is updated. But that is the only difference. That's the only difference. There's not much of a difference at all. That's the only thing they changed. Section, they changed it into part. Okay, will you be having difficulties adjusting with that minor change? Of course not. So I just want to introduce you na bakit sabi ni sir sa topic, sa discussion, part na daw, bakit section pa rin naririnig ko? Well, because the recording was done, those practices was done prior to 2019 before they made change. But if you will be joining our mock exam every Tuesday and Thursday of every fucking week, then they are now updated. You will now hear part instead of section. Okay? So this is divided into 4 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Like any other test, they stack up on the difficulty level. Okay? So you will be encountering the difficulty level of part 1 as mainly the easiest. Parang pamigay na. Sobrang dali. As in, if you take the test, chances are your part 1 will get the perfect score. Part 2, a very similar concept nonetheless, but you have to be careful with how the types of test appears. Kasi may type of test na pag yun ang lumabas sa part 2, baka dehado tayo. If you are not well acquainted with it. That's why, again, there's nothing that will beat experience, first-hand experience. That's why I suggest this practice, undergo a scenario that is very close to reality, which is, again, none other than your mock exam. Please attend your mock. Sir, I can't come to the mock exam. I have kids. I can't get out of the house. I'm working. I'm, let's say, a government employee. I work in a bank. I can't go out. I work even on Saturdays. Diba? So you don't have to worry because we also have some practices that you can do on your free time, which we will be uploading during those replay days, particularly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay? But we will be making sure that every single time there will be a holiday, we will be remaining open just for us to cater those people na alipin ng kanilang trabaho. Sabi ko, ma-absent ka na, isang araw lang naman. Total, mag-resign ka na rin naman dyan, kaya ka nga nag-IELTS, dahil aalis ka na ng bansa. Tagapagmana ka ba ng kumpanya at di mo yan maiwan ng isang araw? You have leaves, you have some absences that you can use. Why not use them while you're here? Diba? So this is just going to be a phase anyway. But again, kung hindi kaya, meron tayong practice sa bahay. That's one of the main reasons why we have lectures here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And we have even more. We have 9. Kanina 11 to. In the branch. Sabi ni Joey, sa amin po sa Australia, pag po ba sinabi per component, minimum 5. Joey, if minimum 5, ibig sabihin individually, 5 listening, 5 reading, 5 writing, 5 speaking, hindi yan dapat bumaba. Kung bababa, no? Especially kung listening and reading, wala na tayong choice kundi mag-retake. Pag writing and speaking, may other option ka pa, which is what we call recheck. So kay recheck, meron po akong klase para dyan. Tatagal po yun ng 1.5 oras. Ang tawag doon is EOR or Entry on Results. Si Sir Ervin po mismo, ang CEO namin, siya po mismo ang papaliwanag sa inyo. Replay po yan. No? So napakahabang diskusyon nyo tungkol dyan sa mga proceedings na yan dahil yan po talaga inaral yan. What else? Combination of band score. Ano naman siya? No? For example, I'm a nurse applying for work in the US. So for US visa screen, kailangan ko po ng 7 speaking, OBS 6.5. So anong nangyari, nakakuha ko ng speaking 7 pero OBS ko 6 lang. So magre-retake ako. This time around, kailangan paghusayin ko yung listening reading, which is the reason why the score went down first place, and then ko-combine ko lang siya. Now, I have 7 speaking for the first test. I have 6.5 OBS on the next. I just have to combine it. So, 1.5 oras na namang paliwanag yun. So, 2 video po yun na link na ipopost ko next week. Clear? Okay, so if you have questions about EOR, if you have questions about combination of band score, I'll be uploading that Tuesday next week. So make sure to tune in our Facebook group next week. Watch them carefully. All right. So 4 parts. How many questions you are supposed to give answers to? 40. Now, sir, akala ko ba band? Well, this 40 items, depending on how many items you will get correct, has a band score conversion. So you will then convert the raw score that you will get, hopefully high, into a band score. And that band score now can be used for your application. So ang minimum natin out of 40 for you to get a band 7 is 30. So the magic number is 30. 30 out of 40 correct items po ang hinahanap natin. If I'm not mistaken, parang 30-31 will give you 7. 32 will give you 7.5. Yeah. So ang perfect score niya ay 9, which is 40 out of 40. Can you get 9? Yes. Getting a 9 in listening is actually the most achievable goal in the IELTS. Because out of the 7,000 candidates have already taught, siguro 1,000 doon ka 9 ng listening. Ganun na siya common, ganun siya kadali. Okay? So, have you guys encountered your mock exams yet? Nakapag-mock na kayo. Ilan po mga nakukuha nating score? 7.5, 7. That's good. 7. Okay. Actually, in reality, we tuned the mock exams we have here as 1 level more difficult than the actual test. If you're getting, again, I don't want to give you any feeling of false self-confidence. Oh, no? Ayokong bigyan kayo ng ganong false self-confidence na because you were getting 7, or you got 7 the first time, or you got 7 one time, you will be getting that score. Again, a situation is different from another situation. It could be a totally different game. But for us to validate your experiences, we actually tune the mock exams to be one level more difficult than actual tests. So, in my prediction, okay, those people who are getting 6.5 in mock, they got 7. So 0.5 na mas mataas sa score, yung possible na makuha mo kung consistent, yung word ha, kung consistent mong nakukuha yung score na yan. So kung 7 ka consistently, let's say you did 5 consecutive practices, 7, 7, 7, 7, puta, yan yun lahat, no? Tatalo sa akin. Pakalakas ko. No? Ibig sabihin lang nun, maaari, malamang, na 7 makuha mo sa exam or mas mataas. Sa totoong exam na yan. Malinaw po? Okay. Again ha, I don't want to give you any false sense of confidence, no, but we tuned it to a bit more difficult extent. So if you are getting 7 in practices during mock sa computer-based testing center natin, chances of you getting that score is pretty high. Around 90%. Yung isang estudyante last December, sir, puro 6 lang nakukuha ko, hindi ako maka 6.5, maka 7.5 yung sa isa. Again, I don't want to bigyan ng false sense of confidence. So iisipin nyo lang na practice lang to, hindi pa to ang totoong buhay, maraming pwede mangyari, but I'm very thankful for this opportunity to be able to practice something that is very close to reality. Since, secret lang to, mga practice nyo doon, mga dating exam. Daya kami. Siyempre, estudyante namin kayo, gusto namin bigay yung dapat sa inyo. Okay, you paid for your tuition fee, you paid for our service, you will get the most premium service available. So maximize your stay here. So kung kaya mo mag-mock 2 times a week, do it. Alright? So, gaano katagal tumatagal ang test? Actually, this is not real anymore. This 40 minutes. Your exam will only last for 30 minutes. That means that the recording will play continuously for exactly 30 minutes. Now, for the pen and paper-based, the traditional exam, just want to give you an idea how the traditional examination works. My speaker, the speaker could be a huge ass speaker in front, or it could be a surround sound system in a hotel. For example, you took or you will be taking the examination in Crown Plaza Ortigas, where I took my examination last 2016. Malaking hall yun. So, ang lalakas ng speaker nila, pero despite having powerful speakers, medyo sabog pa rin dahil carpeted yung place. So, it absorbs the sound, it doesn't reflect back to the ears of the listener. So, depende sa pwestuhan, kung malapit ka sa speaker, malamang sa malamang, rinig na rinig mo talaga siya. Unlike now, you are given individual headphones, which is better in terms of practicality. You are injecting the sound directly through your ears. Diba? So in the past, we do the traditional test. We write the answers down as we listen, which is the edge of pen and paper-based test takers. Bakit? You can take down notes while you listen. Dito, parang nakakataranta, nakaka-panic, kasi you have to interact, tapos may kasunod na tanong. No? But actually much easier because you just have to interact, you just have to click it, you have to drag and drop, not unlike before na kailangan mo siyang isulat. Spelling will be a factor. Spelling is going to be a factor. Even today, kung kailangan mo i-type yung answer, spelling is still going to be a factor. You don't have to worry though because the speakers will even spell out the items to you. How bad could that be? That's why napakadali nitong exam. Take note that this 10-minute time in the past is given, okay, is given as a way to help test takers get flying colors for their exam. Because this is the part where they transfer the the answers they have accomplished, the answers that they have accumulated throughout this 30-minute span into the answer sheet. Ito po itsura ng answer sheet natin. So once again, if you want to take the pen and paper based exam, this test is still available. Available pa rin po yan. Ang inconvenience lang po ng ating pen and paper based exam is that the results of the test, no? To be in particular, will take about 14 to 15 days before you get the text message or the email. Ganyan siya katagal. If you are in a rush, so mo i-cut yung time for you to agonize, ikaw ay mabalisa, computer-based is definitely for that. Clear? Okay, so which is easier? Well, arguably, this varies from person to person anyway. Pero nung unang in-incorporate po ang computer-based test sa Philippines, una na po si IDP na nag-implement. By the way, IDP and British Council are the two co-founders of IELTS. So sila po ang kontrabida sa buhay natin. Sa istoryang ito, sila po ang kontrabida. Sila po ang hadlang sa ating tagumpay. So nauna si IDP, meron akong batch na nag-take ng test. Alam ko, siyam sila, mga taga San Jose. Siyam sila. Nag-take sila ng exam dito sa Microtel, IDP. So ang ginawa daw sa kanila, sir, gulat kami kasi pen and paper based, pero naka-earphones kami. Fuck! Yun yung best combo. Earphones ka, tapos susulat ka na answer. Ang dami na yung time. Pero isang beses na ngayon kasi trial lang siya. Nung first time siyang ini-incorporate sa Philippines. So nalaman nila, okay, pwede na ang Philippines for the computer-based assessment. So, unti-unti, in-unravel nila yan. Meron tayo before, computer testing center sa Pampanga. Yun yung una, dito sa province. Tapos, itong mga branches, na-convert na rin siya eventually into a testing center. So, yeah. Sino po magte-take ng pen and paper base? Meron po. Wala naman. Hindi ko na kayo sinasuggest mag-take niyan, ha? Kasi nga, medyo makaluma ang tradisyon na yan. Maraming... Nagdidepende siya sa lugar. Na masasabi ko, nagdidepende siya sa lugar. Kasi, pag dito sa Kabanatuan ang test, nung pen and paper based pa po lang ang available dito. Kay IDP 3 times a year, and British Council 4 times a year. So, ang base of operation ni IDP, nire-rent nila si The Podium, dito sa Kapitan Pepe, si Microtel, tapos kay British Council, si Harvest, at kung may nakabook na binyag, kasal, 50th birthday, golden anniversary, siyempre walang choice si British Council, maghahanap ng iba, sila Parilla ang second. Napakapangit po ng speakers ni Harvest. Kung naka-attend ng mga kasal daw, kasal binyag, wala pa? Di pa kayo nakapunta doon sa hall nila? Nakapunta na. Sino hindi pa? Wala kasing kaibigan eh. Sama kasi ugali mo nga nang imbita. Mong pambigay yan, huwag natin imbita. Wala pakimkim yan eh, huwag natin bigay. Kaya magkala makakaganti rin kayo sa gano'n. Kasi pag nasa Canada ka na, nasa UK ka na, mayaman ka na. No, papaula ng kanila ng imbitasyon ngayon. Wala naman pa kayo sa Harvest, at dito na ako sa Calgary. Okay. So yan. Ang pangit ng speaker nila. Actually, sabi nga ng student, sir, no, mas maganda pa yung sound system natin. Ito, ang liit ng speaker. Na-occupy niyo yung buong room. Kasi yung kanila, alam mo yung sa perya. Ganon, sabog yung sound. Nakapag-exam ka na before na. Sa Harvest ka. Pampanga, okay, buti na lang hindi ka nag-Harvest. Kasi unang week ko ng pagtuturo, nag-exam no weekend, Harvest. Tahimik kami nagkaklase, Lunes. Biglang sumusubo dito yung mga matatanda. Bakit sa akin kayo nagagalit? Hindi naman ako nagpapa-exam. Dapat, nung time na yun, ang pangit ng sound system, nagreklamo na kayo sa akin. We kept on raising that every single time. Magkaka-exam dito. To no avail. Kaya naman, we're very thankful. Meron na tayo computer-based. Ang test dito ay linggo-linggo. Unlike before, naantayin mo February, July, September. Yun lang ang available test dates sa kabanatuan before. So ngayon, every week. Diba? Gawin mong hobby. Naman sana. Okay. So what's the difference anyway between computer-based test and pen and paper-based exam? Actually, I have a video here, which you can also watch on YouTube, by the way. So you can check this link out so that you can watch the video again and again. But the thing is, I already have, uy, ito pala yung shades ko. Nahanap ko to, isang linggo na. Mga academic na naman may kagagawan. Talaga, academic. Ayan. So we will be watching the video first. Share sound ko lang. Stereo, yun.
For the listening test, you can change the volume by using the volume bar in the top right at any time during the test. For each part of the listening test, you will hear the recording once only. Some parts of the test have more than one type of question. Each type of question has its own instructions. In the listening test, listen carefully for the part number and question numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen.
Yan na. Okay. So we have the part 1, 1 to 10, part 2, 11 to 20, part 3, 21 to 30, and part 4, nandun yun sa bottom panel, 31 to 40. Actually, when you click a number, halimbawa lang malikot ka, naglalaroan mo, start na nung test, kinlik mo yung 13, magpe-play yung audio ng 13. Didire-diretso siya doon. So I don't recommend that you guys click those bottom parts. Kaya nga magpa-practice muna tayo para maiwasan yung mga ganong mistakes. Sorry, why are we allowed to click those items anyway? Actually, in the end, for computer-based test takers, you are given 2 minutes, not for you to transfer all the accumulated answers, but for you to check whether you miss an item or not. And that is the time you can make some amendments. Let's say, wala akong sagot sa item number 21, multiple choice question lang naman. I think even without the script, I can make a calculated guess out of the context of the question anyway. So I think that the best possible answer in this scenario would be letter B. You can now click B in order for you to complete the entire listening answer virtual answer sheet that you have. Okay? So yun lang Gusto ko lang makita nyo na yes, you can check. Ito kasi, na idea behind this numbering on the bottom panel, napaka-importante naman yan pagdating sa reading. Because you can switch back and forth to items that you find easier to do and much more difficult to do that you need to return to later after you're done with the easier parts. So we will be teaching you that skill. So kaya okay na okay to. Pero sa listening, pag nag-click ka dyan, magpe-play na yung part kung saan ka nag-click. So I don't suggest that you click that or those numbers unless gusto mong lagay sa nightmare difficulty ang exam mo. No? Okay. So tuloy-tuloy po ang exam. Like, tapos na po. For example, part 1 to 10, you're finished. Magsa-start na siya kay part 2. Magpe-play na yung 11. Gusto mong balikan yung part 1, kinlik mo yung 1, hindi na po yan mauulit. Malinaw? The recording is played once only.
Screen. For some questions, you need to write your answer in the gap. For some questions, you need to choose which diagram label, A, B, C, etc., is correct for which item listed in the table.
I've mentioned the computer-based test is very integrated. You now have the ability to interact using your eyes. Yun nga lang, magmumultitask ka talaga. Nakikinig ka, listening, analyzing which answer is best for this scenario. Then you have items, questions that you will be, again, analyzing in comparison with what you heard. And you have to make some urgent decision. What is the best answer here? So for example, quilt shop number 21. Sabi dyan, hey, we have to go to the quilt shop. Can you tell me where the quilt shop is? Well, quilt shop is beside the gift shop at the back of the bank. Oh, I think I know where that is. Is it along Elm Street? Yes, that is where quilt shop is. So letter G, binigay niya na direction, kiklik mo lang yung G. Malinaw? Okay, so may mga instances na papalitan nila yung answer. For example, is the Handcraft Museum still opposite of the bank? In the corner of Ash and Main Street? No, unfortunately, the Handcraft Museum now relocated on the opposite side of the Welcome Center, opposite of the quilt shop as well, along Elm Street. You can find it easily because you are facing quilt shop. Behind you, that's where the Handcraft Museum is. So, ibig sabihin, H naman ngayon to. So, dati, sabi niya, nasa A daw, nilipat na. Nasa H na siya. Nakikita po, nagkakaintindihan. So, that's how you interact with the map. Okay? Ganun po siyang ginagawa. Click-click lang.
For each question, click on the correct space in the table. For some questions, you need to click on an answer and move it into the gap.
This is what I call drag and drop type. So may questions ka dito sa left, may answers ka sa right. You will click the item that you think is the right answer. You click it, wag bibitawan yung click. Dadalhin mo siya, literally, the drag, hihilahin mo yung mouse, punta dun sa item, then let go of the click. Babagsak ngayon yung answer dun sa blank. Ngayon, sir, paano kung gusto ko magpalit?
If you want to change an answer, move another answer into the gap. If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the question back.
Return it. That's it. That's it.
And for some questions, you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you will have 2 minutes to check all of your answers. The tests will automatically stop when the time finishes.
There's no advanced submission. Now, automatically, if the time expires, your virtual answers where you accumulated all your answers during the listening phase will now be submitted automatically on the system. So, yeah. The most critical part is definitely during the listening phase, because you cannot return, you cannot do a replay of it. So naturally, what we want to do here is that you can get as many answers as you possibly can. So some people say we should do this. Na sabi nila, sir, we are actually allowed to ask for a sheet of paper and a pencil during the test. So mas okay ba na mag-scratch kami doon, tsaka namin type? Actually, I discourage you doing that, even though in some testing centers, they allow it. So what is the reason why I don't like you guys scribbling, taking notes as you listen through a computer-based test? Once again, whatever it is that you type on your screen, in front of your screen, on the monitor, nakikita mo siya natatype, is automatically uploaded to the virtual answer sheet. Hence, this is the reason why it's only 2 minutes for us to transfer, or otherwise known as your checking whether you completed everything. So kung isusulat mo siya sa papel, basically, walang laman yung test booklet mo on screen, isa-isahin mo ngayon yung babalikan, which is a very tedious thing to do. You will not be able to do it in 2 minutes, provided that you are a slow typer pa. And some of the questions needs interaction. So doon ka pa na magda-drag and drop. So I don't really recommend that. Although you can, but I don't want you to do it because it will just drag you down. Magpapahirap lang yan dito sa mas pinadaling exam sana. So sir, paano po yun? Paano po ako masasanay? Kaya nga magsanay ka. so that you can get used to it. Para unti-unti, makapag-adjust ka, andito lang po, hindi po maalis yung mga computer namin yan. Okay? Mock exams will be your edge. Other testing centers, other review centers, they don't offer such kind of convenience to candidates like you. So please, maximize it. Maximize your stay. Okay? All right. Questions so far? Okay. Ito na, ala. Ala naman. Sige. Let's continue. So band score, mali po itong band score na to. This is the academic reading band score. For the listening test, 30 points, 31 points, pasok yan sa 7. Pag naka-32 ka, 7.5 ka na. So in the listening test, we have 3 stages. We have the before stage, we have the during stage where the audio is being played now. So take some notes. This is only for the pen and paper based exams. Bakit kailangan nila mag-take note? Natural, wala naman silang virtual answer sheet. Kailangan nila talagang magsulat, mag-doodle, mag-scribble. No? But for the computer-based test, you have to be direct. You have to go direct. Whatever answer that is mentioned, and this is your answer for this particular item, you have to write it down, you have to type it, you have to click it, you have to move those items from the bank, ilagay mo na siya doon. Na, okay, as soon as you encounter them. And after, never fail to review your answer. Actually, for the listening test, this is how generous the listening test is for everyone. They will literally give you time. Time. All the time in the world that you need. They will give you a minute to look for the items. Balinig mo yung script nito. You now have 1 minute to look for questions 1 to 6. Listen as Kevin and Vina talks about their summer vacation. Oh, Kevin, how was your summer vacation? It was amazing. I stayed in Italy for 2 months. Question number 1, where did Kevin stay? Italy. Yun po yung sinabi. So, lalagay mo lang siya. Malinaw? Alright, malinaw po? Ganun po yung maririnig nyo. So, after listening, may bibigay sa inyo na you now have 30 seconds to check your answers for item 1 to 6 before we proceed to 7 to 10. Ganun siyang kabait, may pahinga, may breather ka. So, ang gagawin mo? Ano ba yung mga na-miss mong items? Wala naman. So, okay. Ano gagawin ko? Check ko na yung mga susunod na items. Okay? 30 seconds din yun. Maximize it. So, for every part 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 minute to prepare. For items 1 to 10, 30 seconds to check. 1 minute, 30 seconds as a whole for every part. So, that will be equivalent to 6 minutes in total. Diba? Use that as your advantage. Use that to really prepare, get clues. Ano kaya magiging sagot dito sa 1? Question, where? So naturally, lugar, bansa, probinsya, city, location, hotel, mall, wait for a specific spot that they will mention. Question number 2, how much? So literal, pera, pinag-uusapan dito, dollar sign, pound sign. You don't have to worry kasi ang dalas pong banggitin yung mga cents, yen, pounds, euros, dollars as currency sa inyong exam. Shit, nasan ba yung dollar? Nasan ba yung pound sign? You don't have to worry that much because nakalagay na po siya before. So hindi mangyayari na hindi nila yan ilalagay. Kasi kababagsak mo yan pag hindi mo nalagay yung currency. So definitely, since may currency na before the blank, before the question, alagay, item number 2, yen, alagay na yung symbol ng yen, tapos ilalagay mo yung number, yung figure, yung pera, yung mismo value. Hindi mo na ilalagay yung yen. Or hindi ka na magsusulat ng yen after the money. Because if that happens, magiging over-repetitive ang sagot mo, it will cause a fatal error. Huwag din OA, ha? May nakalagay na nga eh. Why would you put something pa? Kaya use this before and after stages to do some amends. Pero yung 2 minutes na ibibigay after the recording is done playing, use most of that time to check. May mga na double input pa ako dito. May mga hindi ba ako nalagay na unit of measurement. Kung meters siya, meters. Kung centimeters, baka hindi ko nilagay yung centimeters. Dapat ba abbreviated? Dapat hindi. Tuturo natin yan later sa formatting issues naman. Kasi those critical aspects of the transfer phases is going to be the deciding factor. Some people, by default, tama yung sagot nila, but because of the systematic assessment na, teka, mali yung spelling. Sinunod ko naman, sir, ang alam ko spelling, American. Dapat pala British because of the format. So, dun magkakaroon ng technicalities. So, definitely, mali pa rin ang answer mo. Sayang yung mga ganong pa isa-isang mali. Kasi if they will accumulate, malaking kamot yun sa score mo. Kaya malaking tapyas sa score mo yan. So, try to guess. If you have left some items blank, use the questionnaire to get an idea what guess you need to make. Again, use or do a calculated guess. Hindi lang basta-basta na, for example, 34, wala kang sagot. Ay, okra na lang kasi yung paborito kong gulay. Saan ko kinuha yung okra? Diba dapat may pinagkunan man lang? Dapat may pinanggaling. For example, 34. What should Kevin bring to the beach? A, suntan lotion. B, laptop computer. C, money. Definitely, I'm choosing between money and suntan lotion, probably because this is a beach and you'll get sunburn if you don't put lotion. So, I'm leaning towards A. Di ko narinig yung answer kanina. So ngayon, may chance ako na magkaroon ng calculated guess. Basahin man lang yung tanong. So the examination's level of difficulty will be based on, number one, the content. As I've mentioned previously, the level of difficulty improves. The level of difficulty increases as you progress towards the end. So if you ask me the main reason why, yung parts 1 and 2 kasi, they are just asking for nouns. No? Like what, where, when, how much. No? Nagkakaintindihan, you will literally put names, places of people, time as their answer. And they are very easy to acquire. They are very easy to understand. They're very easy to grasp. Parang pipitas ka lang, nasa harap mo na siya. Now, in the parts 3 and 4, in those areas, the answering methods become much tougher because they will be requiring you to respond with a verb or an adjective, or worse, an adverb. So what's the problem with those parts of speeches anyway? Well, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs have their significant parts. Iba-iba po yan ng part. Iba-iba po siya ng forms. So si verb, may present form, may infinitive form, may present progressive form, may past form, may past participle form. So isang verb from go, 5 ang form. Go, goes for singular. Infinitive go, went for past. Gone for past participle. Going for present participle. So which specific type of verb form are you about to use? Sir, ang narinig ko going. So dapat po ba going ang sagot? Well, I'm not so sure about that because if you see na merong specific changes sa kailangan mong gawin, since the ultimate deciding factor will be your test booklet. Nakalagay, will blank. So instead of will going, which is if you're going to answer going, mali, dahil yun na rin mo, will be going, nalis yung B dun sa text. Go na lang ang magiging sagot. Nagkakaintindihan, you have to use the infinitive form na. So once again, paano ko ma-i-improve yung sarili ko sa ganon? Again, you have to subject yourself in the mock exams para ma-encounter mo silang lahat, makita mo yung adjustments sa kailangan mo gawin during the test and even after it. So sa part 1 and 2, part 1 muna, dialogue, dalawang tao nag-uusap, general everyday scenario. Ano ba yung mga example ng general everyday scenario? Isang estudyante, nag-i-inquire sa registrar, nag-i-enroll. Isang caller, nag-i-inquire tungkol sa availability ng hotel room na to for this particular date. Isang passenger na nagpunta sa airline dahil nasira yung kanyang suitcase. Ano pa? May buy and sell din dito. May isang caller nag-i-inquire doon sa motor na binibenta ng speaker. Ilang liters yun, anong brand, anong model, anong kulay. Yun yung sagot sa part. Madali? Yes. They give the answer back and forth. So whatever it is, whatever information they give, they are deemed important as probable answers anyway. And kapag may pera na involved, may location, may time, Wednesday, afternoon, 4 a.m., 3 p.m., plate number, body number, chassis number, flight number, passport number. Those are answers. Probable, highly potential answers. So part 2, ganun pa din. But instead of hearing two people talking, dalawa nag-uusap, ito ang tanong ko, ito ang sagot mo. Yung sagot mo, importante, may sagot ako dito. Importante siya. Kay part 2, isang tao na lang nagsasalita. Nagdi-discuss siya tungkol sa general everyday scenario. No? Anong general everyday scenario po dinidiscuss? Tourist information. Mga public warning. Anong public warning? Example. Ano mga dapat gawin during calamities? Ano mga dapat paghandaan? Ano mga dapat gawin pag sumakay ka sa tren? Mga public transport system. How can you keep yourself safe during calamities, etc. Pang general public. Sabihin, hindi mo kailangang maging graduate ng 4-year course para maintindihan, maunawaan kung ano yung sinasabi sa part 2. Part 3 is actually, for me some people would claim part 4 is the most difficult. Ako, part 3. Bakit? Ang chaotic eh. Sometimes there are 4 people speaking and most of the time, not just sometimes, they talk all at once. So nandun si Kevin, si Vina, si Dan, si Nico, nag-uusap sila sabay-sabay. They're talking about their project, who will do which. They are delegating tasks specifically for a particular person involved within the group. So it could be problematic if you cannot catch up easily, and worse, the answers are not nouns, the answers are not pronouns, the answers are not subject, they are verbs which require different forms. Adverbs which require different forms. Adjectives which require different forms. Positive, comparative, superlative degree. Ano bang form ang gagamitin ko na adjective? So it will be a lot critical. Now, part 4 comes into the picture. May discussion na naman yan. But this time around, may kinalaman na po ang specific subject. So, kung kanina walang specific subject involved, ito ay para sa nakararami, para sa masa. Yung part 4, ang subject dyan, history. Halimbawa, anong history ng hot air balloon? Sino naka-imbento? Anong taon niya na-imbento? Anong mga nangyari? Bakit wala ng hot air balloon? Historically important point of view. So meron pa dyan, tungkol sa pagkolekta ng basura, saan pupunta yung mga basura, anong importance sa pagre-recycle, so, specific subject. Isa naman, paano ginagamit yung mga reeds o talahib para mapigilan ng pagdami ng lamok. May ganun eh, health. Malinaw? Questions? Yan na ba yun? Wala ba talagang tanong? Pag ako nagtanong. Ay, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Okay. Wala na po So sir, what are the 2 barriers to listening? May dalawa tayong barrier sa listening. May dalawang hadlang sa pangarap na to pagdating sa listening. Hulaan nyo ano. Action is 1. Speed is the other. Can you do something about speed? Meron bang option para pabilisin, pabagalin yung speed? Wala, di ba? So, anong gagawin natin doon? Acceptance. Tanggapin na po natin. Ganun na po siya talaga. Pero guys, in my point of view sa opinion ko lang po ito. Hindi po na ito nire-reflect ang opinion ng buong Niner. Ang dali ng listening kasi mabagal yung pagsasalita nila talaga. Kasi wala naman nag-uusap na, "Hi, Kevin. How was your summer vacation?" Pag gano'n yung kaklase mo, "Tagin naman, lumayo ka sa atin." Nakatakot din, alam, taong nag-uusap ng ganun eh. Which hotel do you suggest I book my stay in Italy next month? Oh, that would be the Bellagio Hotel. That is Bellagio. Bellagio Hotel. Oh, I will be taking note of that. Definitely. Wala nag-uusap ng gano'n. Pero sila talagang, ayan yung mga sagot, mga tanga, kunin nyo na. Kopyahin nyo, isulat nyo, type nyo na. Ito na yung sagot ko, nilalakasan ko na, binabagalan ko na. Pag yung pa ito nakakuha, ewan ko na lang sa'yo. So they have really slower down. They have made this rate of speech go slower than usual, actual, real-life conversation. So, mabagal siya kaysa sa totoong buhay. So, huwag kayong magreklamo sa akin, ang bilis-bilis naman. Yan po ay mas mabagal pa sa totoong buhay. So, wala tayong pwedeng gawin sa speed. Kundi tanggapin na, yan na talaga siya. You have to be thankful though, kasi nga, mas mabagal siya compared sa totoong pag-uusap. Pero, sa accent, no? Because IELTS is a global exam. They try to incorporate this global scenario into the picture. So meaning, when you say global, tatlo po ang speakers, major speakers ng English language. So historically, nagsimula po talaga yan sa England, kaya nga siya English. Tapos, nagpunta yung mga English people sa America, they discovered America, na ang laki ng gold and silver mine, especially do sa mga nung part ito, mga una nilang nasakop was East Coast, yung East part na yan, particularly Colorado, yan. Maraming mina dyan, California, yan. Marami silang nakuhang ginto, pilak, valuable resources. Nung naubos na nila, bumalik na sila sa bansa. Now, si Australia, na-discover nila yon around 1700s, 1800s. Tapos sabi nila, pangit naman ang lugar na to. Totoo po yun, ha? Pangit naman ang lugar na to. Siguro walang magkakagusto sa lugar na to. Gawin lang natin tong kulungan. So Australia was the world's largest penal colony under the British reign. So ginawa nilang malaking kulungan. Kaya yung accent ng Australia, maintindihan nyo kung bakit, kung ikukumpara ito sa Pilipinas, ikukumpara sa Pilipinas, pag nakapag-aral ka, na, sophisticated ang language use mo. Now, you can communicate with great clarity. You can use the language under its regulations. Na, kung ang arrangement ng sentence, ito ang tama, pag gamit ng nang at nang, alam mo siyang gamitin ng tama. Alam mo nang gamitin yung proper forms ng parts of speech. Yun yung sophisticated, nakapag-aral sila. Ngayon, yung anong sabi ko mga dinala nila sa Australia? Mga prisoners, di ba? So lahat ng mga pirata, mga murderers, no? Dinala nila sa Australia. Sabi nila, ang pangit kasi ng lugar na to, dry na dry, very arid. Wala magkakagusto dito. Kaya pagka nalaman ng mga tao na lahat ng mga kriminal, papadala natin sa Australia, matatakot silang mag-commit ng crime. So nangyari, dinala nila yung mga criminals. Siyempre, pag dadala ka ng criminals, dadala ka rin ng mga police, di ba? Dadala ka rin ng mga wardens. Dadala ka rin ng security guards, mga bantay. Siyempre, sabi ng guard, nalulungkot naman ako, wala akong pamilya. Sama ko na yung pamilya ko dito. Hanggang sa umusbong siya. So, nakawala na yung mga prisoners, pag-asawa rin sila, halo-halo po yung accent nila. So, ang very heavy doon, kaya makikita nyo ang laki ng resemblance ng accent ng Irish accent. May sikat sa UFC na Irish, McGregor. Very thick resemblance siya sa mga Aussie. Kasi karamihan sa mga nakulong before, na dinala sa Australia, mga Irish. Gets nyo na. Ganun sila magsalita. So yun sa atin naman, sa lingwahe natin, yung mga tambay. Yung kada salita, may mura, may mga shortened language. No? Mga tawag sa father, erpat, ermat. Kinakul nyo yan eh, no? Oh. So sila, may mga shortcuts din sa language. Lipstick, lipo, savvy, garble, garbage man. Diba? Mga ganun silang phrases, mga terms. Hindi mo mawawala yan. So sana makita nyo yung discrepancy. Makita nyo yung discrepancy. Kontinente po ang layo ng UK, kung saan nag-originate ang English. Sa Australia, nasa baba. Sa US, na nasa kaliwa niya. Kontinente po ang layo. Totoo. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng accent? Sa Tagalog? Punto. May ibang tono yung pagsasalita niya, nakakaiba dun sa usual. Tama? Okay. Kung doon sa kanila, konti-kontinente, i-accept mo na, expect mo na may pagbabago. Dito nga sa atin Kabanatuan lang. Dito kabanatuan. Punta ka ng Gimba. Dito ka ng Gimba. Di ba? Yung punto nila doon, ano ba? Ay, yan sila magsalita. Bum, bum. Di ba? May punto na sila pumunta ka sa Gapan. Sa amin. Halong-halo doon. Di ba? May Kapampangan at saka thick Bulacan accent. Manila. Puro, yung truck mo, mas gago. Guys, hindi pa tayo lumalayo. Ala pang 100 kilometro Gapan to Manila is only about 93 kilometers apart. Kabanatuan and Gapan is only 17 kilometers apart. And yet, the discrepancy is huge. What more to expect from those continent distance levels? At inabot pa ng 100 taon ang hindi pagkukontak ng mga continents na yon. Naturally, there is huge discrepancy. Sige, tapusin ko na. Na maintindihan nyo, may 3 accent na lalabas. Majority ito yung big players. If you encounter American accent in your exam, consider yourself one of the luckiest bastards alive. Why? Why? Because we are used to American accent. Nanonood tayo ng TV shows. Sinanood ng Friends. Sinanood ng Grey's Anatomy. Diba? Sinanood ng mga movies ng Avengers. Mga cartoons, Ninja Turtles. The Amazing Spider-Man. Diba? Batman the Bold and the Brave. Justice League. Okay? Mga movies. Diba? From Hollywood. Mga pinapakinggan nating kanta. Okay? O sa mga matatanda, Bee Gees. Diba? The Beatles, ano yan? British band. Okay? Chicago. Si Peter Cetera. Mga luma. Mga medyo bago-bago. Sila Eminem. Sino pa? Sila Migos. Diba? American accent. Sanay tayo dahil yun ang palagi natin naririnig. Ever since then. Kahit nga si Dora the Explorer Where is the tree? Diba? Yan lang. Clues. Okay? American accent. So, sanay tayo sa American accent. Ano ang feature ng American accent na dapat mong malaman? Letter T tsaka letter R. Because the T in American accent sometimes is absent in some states. Nakawala yung T. Na? For example, winter. They say winter. Kaya sabi nila, ano ba talaga tama? Call center or call center? Diba? That's American accent Naturally, pag lalaban nilang tama yun because most of their times are probably kailangan nilang mag-shift. So, ang careful ka lang doon, yung mga words tulad ng mountain, certain, curtain. Ang tawag natin doon, holding T before N. Literal na kinakain nila yung syllable. They eat the syllable up. Curtain, certain, carton, cotton, cotton can. Kinakain nila talaga. So ano bang tama? Cotton or cotton? Cotton. Because that's the international acceptable pronunciation. Hindi sa isang bansa lang. So kapag listening, American, cotton. Pag speaking, tinanong ka, what is your favorite sweet food? Cotton candy is my favorite sweet food. Pupronounce pa rin yung T. Malinaw. Okay, this is just for recognition. Kaya po namin kayo tinitrain sa accent is for recognition para, oh, American to. I have to be careful with T. I have to be careful with R. Sometimes they don't include them in their pronunciation. Particularly in New York. So sa New York, may malaking resemblance yung, at saka si Boston, sa accent from the British reign because sila yung direct na nagpapalitan ng goods in the past. Yung 1800s, 1900s, early 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution. So pasok din yung mga barko, kaya sila nag-uusap kung ano uso dito, yung uso sa kanila. Kaya may pagkakahawig. Pero pag lumayo ka na ng konti, sa ibang state, Washington, ayan na, nandun na yung malaking resemblance na nawawala yung T. Pag nasa gawing Texas ka naman, nasa gawing Florida ka naman, medyo mga West. Di ba pag Wild Wild West depiction? This town is too big for the two of us. Ganun sila magsalita. Masyadong mahaba naman ang vowel. Ang tawag naman doon, drawling. Mahaba yung cow. Cow. Mahaba masyado yung vowel sound. So yun po ang feature ng American accent. For British, this is commonly used in the IELTS. So pinaka-common sa kanilang tatlo. Random. Sige, anong mas malabas? Saan ba nire-record yan? Sa UK. Sa University of Cambridge. Diyan nire-record. Majority ng mga nag-aaral doon ay from the UK. Siyempre, may mga international students. So, ibig sabihin, sir, yung American accent na naririnig ko, eh, hindi talaga kano ang nagkasalita. Yes, ginagaya lang nila. Kaya tendency maging OA pa, lalo. Yung accent na maririnig. So, anong mas malabas? Si British. Madali ba si British? Actually, yan ang pinakamadali sa kanila. Yan ang pinakamabagal. Pinakamabagal magsalita sa lahat. Pag American accent, in-interview si LeBron, in-interview si Curry, in-interview si Durant. Hey, what can you say about their game performance? I think we did all this, a group activity, and we basketball, and we move around, we can go to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Wala ko naiintindihan. Kasi mabilis sila magsalita. Ang feature na yun ng American accent is what we call gliding. Sila nag-invento ng gonna, wanna, cause, yeah. Kasi yun yung mas madali i-pronounce. Dahil tamad silang magsalita. Eh yung British, masipag mag-pronounce yan. Kasi nga, posh, sophisticated sila. Would you like a cup of tea? Madiin sila magsalita. Yun nga lang, wala yung R. R. I love her, mother. It is a must that I marry her. Or else I would die. Yan sila mag-usap. Wala yung R. Pero kaya niyo bang maintindihan kahit walang R? Oo. Mabagal. Madiin. Wala nang R. Basta nag-practice lang ako. Diba? Malinaw po? Okay? So, American, feature, careful with T, gliding, sometimes over-pronunciated vowel sounds, but again, we are accustomed to it. We're used to it. For British accent, ayan na si Peppa Pig. Si Mr. Bean, British accent, hindi natin maintindihan. Nag-gets niyo yan? So, yeah, Beatles, si Ed Sheeran, sinabi ng Ed Sheeran. So, nagandang Harry Potter. Yan, from British origin yan. Yes. Yeah. But for Australian, for those who are cursed, Magmamalas-malasin ka talaga. Yan maratapat. Sir, ano ba ang chance na ma-encounter ko ang Australian accent? Siguro mga 10% lang. Ganun kababa. Kaya pag na-encounter mo yan, that's the heaven telling you, fuck you in particular. You in particular, to be specific. Hindi sila, ikaw lang. No? Malas. Yan po ang kamalasan na tinatawag natin. Bakit? Ayoko na lang magsalita. Pero maririnig nyo mamaya kasi magbibigay ako ng example. So there was a study in one of the universities in the US. Pinapa-pronounce yung isang specific paragraph sa kanila. At yung specific paragraph po na yon, it contains, if not all, almost all of the known phonetic symbols. Lahat ng phonetic sounds nandun. Kung hindi lahat kung may na-invento tayong bagong phoneme, kung wala pa doon, hindi pa kasi siya super duper updated. This was done in the early 2010s. 2012, 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Meron pa nga dito, Quezon City accent. Diyan sa nag-join. Kasi libo po talaga ang sinalin nila dito all over the world. Dalawa, tatlong, for example, Philippines, we have 2 to 3 samples here. We have the Cebuano English, we have the Quezon City English. We have the North Luzon English na nag-join. So ito po yung American na ipaparinig ko sa inyo, British at saka Australian. Pare-parehas po yung script, pero maririnig nyo ang pagkakaiba nila sa tunod. Makinig po tayo mabuti, ha? Ito po yung American.
Please call Stella, ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She will scoop these things up into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
So once again, as expected, American accent was the fastest. Please call Stella, ask her to bring these things with her from the store, 6 spoons of fresh snow peas. Mabilis. No? But we can understand it because universally, we are very accustomed to American accent. This is British. Expect po natin yung mga R. Wala ba akong mic, bass. Lalakasan ko lang ng konting mic. Baka mag-feedback lang. Baka lang.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
And we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station. Napakakalmado, napakadiin, napakadaling maintindihan. So si American mabilis. Still, we're able to catch up with the speed. For British, the speed is very healthy, yet there are some missing sounds like the R. Rhetoric R, non-rhotic R, ang tawag natin. So here's the Australian accent. Pakinggan niyo po mabuti.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
Yes. Literally. Vowel shift ang tawag. We will go meet her Wednesday at the train station. Like, month lang, pati ultimo pagbibilang lang. No? Nakakagigil pag Australian. Yung 8, 8. Yung 9, 9. Yung 0, 0. 0, 8, 9. Ano yun? Nagets niyo yan? So kaya po, ang isa sa paghahanda na gagawin natin bukod sa practice ay natin. Totoo po yan, no? Bakit? Paano pong panalangin? Kasi guys, pag nagpe-pray kayo, dapat specific. Lord, sa yun po yung accent. Baka naman po, i-adyan niyo po ako sa kasamahan. I-adyan niyo po ako sa Brita sa Australian accent. Kahit ano lang po lumabas sa dalawa, okay na po ako, Lord. Sana po yung examiner ko ay hindi Pilipino. Sana po siya ay foreigner na matanda. Kasi mga foreigner na matanda, magpataas yung score. So, foreigner na matanda. Kinabukasan ng Pilipinas. Nakasalang alak. Yep. When you pray, be specific. Narinig niyo kung paano Australian accent? Magpapa-yikes. August. August. August no, ah. No, no, ah. Yun yung siya marinig. Yikes. Takot na. Again, dapat tayo magagawa. Kung yun man sakaling matapat sa atin, kung yun sa atin, at least, are used to the accent. Ang gagawin natin? Practice, practice, practice. So, meron din po kaming specific na American, British, Australian accent lectures. After nun, meron pong audio practice. Hindi ko sinasabi na practicein nyo siya traditional pen and paper. Gusto ko lang pakinggan nyo siya ng paulit-ulit. Nasa YouTube naman yun eh. So, pag pinost ko yung link, for example, lecture for today, replay video of American accent. So, may lecture muna. Tapos may PDF, nandun yung ating test na practice. Once again, kung gusto mo mag-practice, it's fine. Kung ayaw mo, so, click the audio, pakinggan mo siya. Lagay mo siya sa speaker. May mga speaker naman siguro kayo sa bahay. So, connect mo siya, pakinggan mo lang siya. Okay? Get used to the accent. Kapag nag-drive ka, naglalaba ka, wala kang ginagawa masyado this day, libinis ka ng bahay, gusto ng fill and play, yun yung gawin mo sound trip bago ka mag-exam. So that you get used to the accent. Okay pa? So para balanse, dapat silang. So multiple choice, madali siya. You have singular answer, you have multiple answers. Expect the speaker will use synonyms or paraphrasing. But most of the time, it is verbatim. When you see verbatim, you will hear exactly how the words appear in the text. So again, may mga papalitan sila dyan na word. Oftentimes, huwag ka lang magpapatrap, huwag ka lang magpapabiktima sa ganong cases. Dapat ang naiintindihan mo yung konteksto, yung kahulugan ng ibig nilang sabihin. So sample lang po ito. Multiple choice.
Section 3. Listen to a female student, Amina, talking to her tutor, Dr. Bryson, about her project on local history. Amina has completed a first draft of the project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
So, project is about local, school, hospital, or factory. Mimili ka. Particularly liked, intro, first chapter.
Now listen carefully to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 21 to 26.
Well, Amina, thanks for letting me have your draft in such good time.
Oh, that's all right. I was just very anxious to hear what you think of it. You can see that I decided to change the topic. I had been interested in looking at Bering's factory.
Oh, I think the hospital was a much better choice. In fact, well, I have to say that I thought it was good.
Oh.
There's still lots of work to be done.
Oh, yes, of course.
But there's plenty of good ideas. It opens well, and the first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out for me. Most interesting.
That's amazing, because I really didn't find it a bit easy to write.
How long did you work on the whole thing?
Well, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks reading and doing general research, and then I dashed the writing off very quickly. So about 4 weeks in all.
Well, that's about par for the course. You've got a while yet to make the changes.
Oh, right. No problem.
Right, let's have a look at my notes here. Okay, starting with section headings. The broad divisions are good, but you'll have to read.
Amina, see, I was very anxious. I was looking at the bearings factory. Kinat siya ni Dr. Bryce and said, no, I think the hospital is a much better choice. Meaning that Amina was about to begin or has already begun the project about local factory, but decided to change it. That's why Dr. Bryson recognized that the change from the factory to the hospital is better. Kaya ang sagot natin dyan ay sabi ni Dr. Bryson, it opens well. Pinalitan ko, sabi natin na hindi siya verbatim kadalasan. May mga pinapalitan ng word. So introduction means it opens well. It introduces itself quite good. The first chapter is fine. So tinan niyo yung adjective Introduction, well. First chapter, fine. Sabi niya sa middle section. But the middle section really stood out well for me. Most interesting. So sa tingin niyo ba, sa kanilang tatlo, kung yun ang sinabi niya sa C, yun ba ang particularly na nagustuhan niya? Yes, that's why ang sagot natin sa 22 ay letter C. Number 23. Oh, really? Because I didn't find it easy to write and didn't find it easy, found it difficult to do. Sabi niya, kasi hindi ko ito nadalian eh. O, nagsabi lang, hindi ako nadalian. Nahihirapan ako. Kaya C ang sagot. Hindi naman niya sinabi na, I dashed the writing off very quickly. Yes, sinabi niya yun. I did it, but I dashed off the writing very quickly. So, hindi siya na-surprise na sinulat nito ng mabilis. Ibig sabihin, natagalan siya sa part na to, tsaka siya nagsulat ng mabilis. At di naman niya naisip na masama yun. She didn't mention that I think it was not a good project. Sabi niya doon, I didn't find it easy to do. Didn't find it easy? Equivalent to? Found it difficult. Hence, letter C. So, ang sagot natin sa 21 ay B, 22 ay C, 23 ay C as well. Ganun po ang pansin. Okay? So may tanong kanina si Joey. Sabi niya, sir, about capitalization. Don't worry, Joey. I-share ko sa inyo yung mga formatting. Nasa formatting pa kasi yan. Kaya hindi ko pa ma-share. Spoiler alert eh. Sa mga iba-ibang type po ng question gap fill, ito po yung masasabi ko at the current examination, gap fill is the most difficult. Why? Siya yung pinakamahirap na type. Kasi magta-type ka isa-isang letter. So magiging factor ang form, magiging factor ang spelling, magiging factor ang format. So basically, isa siya sa mahirap because you literally have to compose an answer. You literally have to make an answer. Unlike short answer questions and lists, mga flowchart completion, sentence completion, where you have to interact, drag and drop, click, 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 check, 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 yun lang siya. So, it's much easier to survive. Okay? Yun lang. One or two among the four sections may be a map or a diagram. Directions. Focus on directions. Adjacent, neighboring, adjoining, across, dispersely, from corner to corner, beside, next to, alongside, in between, in the middle of, mid, left, right, front, north, south, east, west. So, ang pinakamahirap po kasi dito kay listening, na type of exam, the exam type itself is when you encounter diagram completion, particularly maps. Ito nga po ang halimbawa. Sino nahihirapan sa map? Natural lang po yan. Anong mahirap sa map? Yes, yung pagsunod sa direction. So anong sinasuggest ko? Diba? You are using your ears to listen. Yung headphones, nakalagay yan sa head. Ulo, para marinig mo siya direct. Then, your right hand is sa mouse. Yung left hand mo naman nasa keyboard. Usually, pag map, drag and drop, click, click, click lang po yan. Hindi kayo literal na magka-type, di ba? Ng answer. So, yung left hand mo nakapahinga, tama po ba? Huwag mo pagpahinga-hingan. Huwag mo pagpahinga-hingan. Turo mo yung screen simultaneously. Totoo po yan, tekniko po yan. Dito lang po na, kagayahin pa lang po nila sa Europe to, hindi pa po nila nagagawa. Pilipinas po, magpapauso na to. Use your finger to trace the map as you listen. Kasi, sabi dyan, nandito na tayo ngayon, nandito na tayo. Parang di ka malito. No? So you have to be good with directions. Like adjoining, adjacent. Si adjoining, yung pinagdugtungan. For example, nag-funnel siya. Yung dulo na yun, kung saan siya nag-funnel, kung saan siya nag-join, yun yung adjoining. Yun yung joint. Na? Pag sinabi diyang adjacent, katapat. Pag sinabing beside, neighboring, kanay. Along, alongside, kanay. Nagkakaintindihan po. So you have to be good with direction. Naturally, meron din tayong major directions. North, south, east, west. So nalilito ako dyan madalas eh. Basta alam ko si north and south, taas baba. Si west, kung nasan gawin yung mga kaaway natin sa China, West Philippine Sea, left, right, and east. Nalinaw? So kung di mo siya masyado matandaan, wala kang nakalagay dito na compass. Wala kang compass dyan. Ito kasi meron. So definitely, kung ano yung gumit na dyan, north and east, north, east. Clear? Dito siya. At 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, east. 4 o'clock, 4:30, southeast. Tapos, 6 o'clock, south. Around 7:30 to 8, this is now your southwest. West naman yung 9. 10:30, this will be your northwest. And then, 12 noon, 12 midnight, alas 12, tapat. This will be your north. Yeah. Testing natin. Write no more than 2 words. Ibig sabihin, pag lumagpas po ako ng dalawa dyan, kahit basically correct ang aking sagot, technically wrong pa rin siya. Because you exceeded the word limit. Let's play the audio.
Well, here we are at the top of the tower, and we're going to look at the view from each direction.
We are?
Out to the east, the
East,
large
correct.
buildings about a kilometre away are on the Olympic site.
Okay.
There's an indoor arena for gymnastics,
nakaturo
a
ako.
stadium for track and field, and a swimming pool for races and synchronised swimming,
Etchan?
and also diving. If you look carefully down there, you can see the train lines. The Olympic site has its own station to encourage the use of public transport. There is also a car park, but it only holds a limited number of cars. The formal park has some specially created water features. If you look out here to the south, you can see a circular ornamental pond.
Check.
And around to the west, you can relax and sit on a bench to smell the flowers in the rose garden. And finally, up to the north, if you look in front of you now, there's a lake with a small island in the centre. You can hire rowing boats at the boat shed, which you can't see from here. But if you look through the trees, you can see the cafe, which has lovely views across the water. OK, let's climb down now. We will go now and have a look at the nature reserve section of the park, which has opened up natural wetland to the public.
Okay. So, anong sagot natin? Number 15, car park. Number 16, rose garden. Number 17, cafe. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung nangyari na sa mga binanggit niya. Erase. Highlighter. Ano? Laser. Kita niyo ta? Laser. Sabi niya, here we are at the top of the tower. Out here to the east is the Olympic site. Sabi niya. Punta ka doon. There's an indoor arena. Nakaturo ako dyan, ha? Indoor arena. Stadium and the swimming pool. If you look down below, meron daw train lines. And the station, it has its own station to encourage the user to use the public transportation. There's also a car park. So may binanggit siya na wala dun sa mga boxes na to. At meron tayong square na may nakapoint dun sa answer. So most essentially, perhaps, I think that number 15 The answer to it is yun yung spot na yun. Tapos, balik ka ulit sa tower. Again, your tower is your reference point eh. So, after you're done, dun sa sabi niya dun, out here to the south. So, south ng ano? South, ala na sir, south ito eh. No, hindi ka na bababa dyan. South ng tower kasi yun yung reference point mo. So, babalik ka sa tower. You have the circular ornamental pond. So, dun sa checklist mo, check, nadaanan na natin siya. Now, punta na tayo sa west. You can relax and sit on the benches. Ayun yung mga bench. And smell the flowers in the rose garden. So sa tingin ko, itong scene na to, na nakapalibot dun sa bench, na maaamoy mo daw yung mga flowers, baka yun yung rose garden. Kaya ang nilagay ko sa 16, RG, tinype ko lang yun kanina kasi hindi na ako makahabol. Again, kung computer-based ito, mabilis itong ma-type, rose garden. And then, from the tower na naman, punta ka sa north. No? Meron daw ditong lake with a small island on the center. So, tama ba na ito yon? Yes, ayun yung lake. Ito yung island nasa gitna. Pwede ka daw mag-hire ng boat sa rowing boats na nasa shed. Pero hindi daw yun kita. Ito po yung boat. Kita mo ba? Hindi. Bakit? May nakaharang na tree. So hindi daw siya makikita from the tower. Malinaw? So ito nga talaga yung pinopoint niya. But if you look through the trees, pag sinabing through, sa pagitan, there's a cafe. So ito yung, may trees ba dito? Yes. May trees ba sa kanan? Yes. Yung square na to, na tinuturo ng 17, yun ay cafe. So doon mo dyan ay cafe. Question, ang cafe ba dapat may ganito? Parang Beyonce. Yan. Dapat ba, pangit ako magsulat ha? Yan. Dapat ba may ganyan siya? Point. Hindi naman, essential. So, meron o wala, tama yung sagot mo. Kasi ang hirap hanapin yan sa ano eh. Sa alt. No? Mahirap kabisaduhin siya. So ito na po ang mga tanong tungkol sa formatting. Once again, people one of the most critical aspects of the exam is the formatting issue. So if meron kang mistake sa formatting, despite your answer being really correct, it will be considered wrong since you didn't follow the format. So both British and American spelling are acceptable? Sir, can I choose British? Yes. Can I choose American? Sure. But what I suggest is to choose a spelling type that you can be more comfortable with. And you have to do it universally. From question 1 to question 40, dapat they follow this one type of spelling lang. Hindi siya nagbabari. Halimbawa, sagot mo na tire is T-I-R-E versus T-Y-R-E na tire. So may dalawa kang magkaibang tire na sagot. T-I-R-E tsaka T-Y-R-E. Clear? So hindi dapat. So kung tire, T-I-R-E, tire siya until the end. So anong mas sinasuggest ko? American or British? American. Bakit? Mas sanay tayo sa American. At saka yung mga spelling ng British, like odor, O-D-O-U-R. Color, C-O-L-O-U-R. No? Is hindi tayo masyadong familiar. Paano kung gumamit ka ng na British na odor, O-D-O-U-R. Tapos, at number 16, gumamit ka naman ng British spelling na color. American na color, C-O-L-O-R. So, hindi consistent ang spelling. Baka maging mistake yung isa. So we need to be consistent. So kailan lang po natin binabypass itong rule lang? Kasi again the rules are not universal. There are occasions in which you can use some methodology to help you. So particularly, ito po yan, if there is a format of the example given. Malinaw, if there is a format in the example given. Pakita ko lang muna. Stop share muna ako. Open lang muna ako ng Word. Yeah. Share tayo. Share. Yan. So pag sinabi nating format, naka-indicate po spelling. British versus American. Either are accepted, kahit alin pong spelling dyan. The thing is, if there's a format of the example provided at hindi mo siya sinunod, that's where the problem happens. So paliwanag ko ha. Nilagay. No? Nakalagay dyan. Aha. Po yung schedule ng laban ng football team. No? So, team. Huwag na pala. Sige, lagyan natin. Venue. So, sabi sa audio, alright, tomorrow. Binigay naman yung date. Tomorrow, September 9, our team will hold a match against the Green Lions. The venue, and yung blank. Bawa, ito ay item number 14. The venue will be at, sagot ko blue the British Sports Center. Now, the day after that, we will be having a match against the Blue Eagles. So sabi, the day after that, ang sagot mo ay number 10. The venue will be at the same place. The British Sports Center. Yan. So pakita ko lang po. Ito pong si 14 na British Sports Center versus... Guys, makinig po very critical to. Huwag mo na magsulat, huwag mo na magpicture, huwag mo nang gumawa ng kahit ano, tumingin po muna sa board. So ito po mga brown na to, yan po ay mga given. At yan pong given na yan yung format niya, essentially. So in this entire, sa buong na to, sa buong section na to, sa buong part na to, yung rule na to is applied. Clear? Hindi po sa universal This is specific part lang. So ang sabi dyan, September 9, nakalagay sa format Sep 9. Now, you answered September 10. Nakuha yan? Nakuha. You answered September 10. Your answer is not technically correct because it doesn't follow the format. Kung nakalagay dyan, sabi nga sa ruling natin, no shortcuts, no abbreviations. Kung September buo, bawal mo siyang shortcut. But, magkakaroon ng changes. I-violate mo yung mismong rule na yun, yung general rule na to. Bakit? Dahil mismo sa format, ang kokopyahin mong sample ay hindi nakabuong spelling. You just have to follow it. So, if your answer is September 10, this is essentially correct, but technically wrong. So, you have to make this format accustomed to the table so that it is considered appropriate. Papalitan mo yung September 10 ngayon ng Sept 10 na lang. Okay. Saan daw yung venue? Sa British Sports Center. Wow. Wala ka namang na-encounter na, alam mo na may spelling, British, B-R-I-T-I-S-H, Sports, S-P-O-R-T-S, Center, C-N-T-R, that's American. Sabi Sir Kevin, I have to go American throughout kasi ang C-N-T-R-E ay British spelling. Now, nakita mo, may binigay na format of the example given. Ang gagawin mo ngayon, yung C-N-T-R-T-E-R mo, is papalitan mo siya for it to fit the example provided, which is C-E-N-T-R-E. That is the difficulty of the formatting. Tama man ang sagot mo by default because of the technical aspects of spelling, of the format given. Ano ba ang mananaig? Yung universal rule natin, walang abbreviation, na use the American spelling because that's the spelling most of us are comfortable with, and not everyone are familiar with all the types of British spelling, or kung ano yung binigay na format sa specific part. Yung format pa rin po ang masusunod. Malinaw? Okay. Clear? So ang tanong kanina, what about capitalization? So if you are going to answer using all caps or not, my suggestion is all caps mo yan. Halimbawa, ang options mo, maliliit na A, B, C. Ang answer mo, malaking A pa din? Yes. Example lang akong A ang sagot mo. A pa din po ang magiging answer mo. Yan. Bakit? Because this time, you will be avoiding some capitalization rules applied. Kasi kung ang sagot mo halimbawa is Cabanatuan City, na nag-capital letter C ka, ang proper spelling niyan, malaki din dapat yung C. You forgot to do it. But if you will be capitalizing everything, you can avoid such error. Actually, pag nakita niyo virtual answer sheet niyo, lahat yan, it's either all caps lahat or naka-small case lahat, naka-lower case lahat. After you see it. So again, capitalization does not apply. It only applies during the test. Kaya ang suggestion ko, all caps po tayo. Okay po? Again, kung gusto mo ng hardcore na pagtitake ng test, use the proper capitalization format. Ang problema kasi, baka kakamadali mo, kakatype, nakalimutan mo nang i-capitalize yung C ng city. Sino ba naman ako para malaman ko lahat? So if you're going to all caps, everything, you avoid this violation. Clear? Okay. Questions? Sa numbers, what do you mean? Ayun, okay. When to write the word and when to write the... Kailangan, pakita natin ito sa... nasa Zoom. Sa numbers. Numbers are actually regarded as part. So dun sa write no more than 2 words, halimbawa lang na write no more than 2 words or write no more than 3 words, yung mga ganyan tayo na ruling, no? We will just follow yon. So halimbawa, ang sagot mo, narinig mo, Kevin's snack, he will be bringing a big, red, juicy apple. So ilang word yan? Article is considered as a word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, if this is right no more than 3 words, your answer is wrong. Kahit sinunod mo naman kung ano lang ang narinig mo. So definitely, if you encounter such cases like this, you will be choosing between adjectives. Sino lang matitira dyan? So, una mo nga alisin, article. Bakit? You can, they will consider your answers correct still, even if there are no articles. So, ang una mong mga tatanggalin, a, an, the, mga pronouns like his, her, their. Halimbawa, sagot mo, their house. Write no more than 1 word. House na lang ang sagot. Okay. Sir, 4 pa rin yan. Anong gagawin ko? Pili ka. Yung bang big importante? Kasama sa apple? Oo. Size determination to eh. So may maliit na apple, may malaking apple, so yung big importante. Red, importante? Oo, may green apple eh. So para specific tayo. So in juicy, kahit wala na yan, isang apple naman, unless dried, juicy yan. So big red apple is your answer to fit the minimum of 3 words. Write no more than 3 words rather. Okay? Sa number naman, January 22 to January 25. Sabi ni Sir Kevin, ang number daw ay part of a unit. So in this case, kung write no more than 3 words, January is 1, 22 is another, 3, 4, 5 words pa rin yan, basically. So ibig sabihin, sir, yung number po, regardless sa unit, pala. So, mabibilang siya as 1 word. So, paano ko ito gagawing 3? Una, yung 2, gawin mong hyphen. Kasi ang hyphen ay symbol at hindi word. And then, remove the repetition. This is now 3 words. Now, kailan specifically dapat naka-number ang figure at hindi naka-word? Kapag meron kang unit of measurement. Halimbawa, kung may blank, kilogram, hindi ka pwede maglagay ng 2 as in TWO. It should just be the number 2 instead. Yan. Nagkakaintindihan kung may unit of measurement. Now, it's upon your discretion. Gusto ko ba itong i-spell out? Napahirapan ko pa yung sarili ko? O pindutin na lang yung numbers? Okay. Be careful din kasi dahil sa mga numbering, meron tayong mga passport number. Halimbawa, my passport number is PH 2073495. Example 1, example 2, example 3. Ano po ang tama sa kanilang tatlo? My passport number is PH 2073495. Ito, may space between letters and number. Ito, hyphen lang. Ito, none. Ano mas tama? Actually, all are accepted. All are accepted. But regardless of whether you put a space or hyphen between letters and numbers, or sabi mo, 207 space 34 space 95, walang problema dyan as long as they appear in proper order. Maglagay ka man ng hyphen or space, kung 2073496 ang sagot mo, mali pa rin siya. So wala silang pakialam. Now, this is where the problem comes in. If you put spaces or dashes between numbers and letters in sequence, yung mga hiwa-hiwalay na to, halimbawa, PH207-34-95, this will now be regarded as 1 unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units yan. Write no more than 3 words, hindi ka pasado dyan. Ganon din dito. Nag-space ka. So anong suggestion ko? Wala na. Kasi meron man o wala, tama pa din yung sagot. Hindi ka pa nahirapan. Hanapin yung dash. Hindi ka pa nahirapan. Pinindot mo yung space. Pagka pinindot mo yung space, natamaan yung V. Boom. Instead of space, V ang nalagay. Namali ka pa tuloy. Clear? Okay. So, laging nakatugon tayo sa kung ano mas convenient para sa inyo. Okay po? So, pag may dalawa kang multiple answers, lalagyan po natin ng comma. Ito pala yung pinaka nakakagigil para sa akin, yung be verb. No? Be verb. Okay. B. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng B? BE. Yan po ang pinaka nakakagigil sa lahat. Si B kasi, yan ay tinatawag nating connecting verb. Marami nagtatawag dyan na auxiliary verb, accessory verb, whatever you want to call it. This will require the succeeding verb or verbs to follow either a present participle or a past participle. So kung anong forma ni be, is, are, was, were, am, be lang as is, plus the verb. Dapat either past participle or present participle siya. Example. Be. Nanig mo, took. They took it from us. Eh nakalagay be sa answer. Be taken from us. Dahil ang taken, ang past participle ng took. So yun yung mahirap kasi ito po ay walang rule para matandaan mo ang participle form. Memory po yan. I'm not mistaken, first year high school, lahat po ng curriculum natin, pare-pares, mapa-public, mapa-private, yan po ang first year high school na topic natin. Ang participle ng verb. Halimbawa, si go. Going. Ang present participle. I will be going soon. She is going away now. So is, are, was, were, am, or going. Gone. So ang kanyang past form ay went, ang past participle ay gone. So hindi mo pwedeng gamitin si went kapag kasama niya si be or any of its forms. Is, are, was, were, am. Bawal may went. Dahil pag ginamit mo yun, grammatically unacceptable po ang iyong sagot. At grammar ay part ng assessment kay part 3 and 4. Again, hina-highlight ko yung reason kung bakit mahirap si part 3 and 4 because of the fucking grammar. Dahil adjective, adverb, or verbs ang sagot mo sa parts 3 and 4. So make damn sure that the format is acceptable provided the situation given to you. Malinaw po tayo. Okay. Tanong. Yan. Ito, madali lang to Get your papers out. 2 items lang to. Practice. Just want to make a point here. Sabi pa lang maliwanag. Sa likod.
Now turn to Section 3. Section 3. You will hear two friends discussing a course they have just done. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27.
Tingin ko lang, hindi mo hanapin. Look at questions daw
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Oh, Ben, I just remembered I never filled in that form for Nick.
Ah.
Did you do it?
The course feedback form.
Yes. If you want, we can do it together. I've got mine here.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look then. What do we have to do?
Let's fill in the top first. Let's see. Course code.
It's communication in business.
Okay. Communication in business. I do know that, but what's the code?
CB16 something. CB162, isn't it?
That's it. Okay. And dates. When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
Gosh, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No. And we finish at the end of this week on Friday, so that's July 15th.
16th.
Oh.
Monday was the 12th.
Yeah.
Right, that was the easy bit. Now, let's have a look. Please give your comments on the following aspects of the course.
Answer to
Okay,
21.
what's the first one? Oh, course org...
Ayan, Diyos ko po. Sige yung confidence. Ano sa 21? Oh. May birthday. Hindi Anong sagot niyo? Hindi niyo nakuha. Ang dali niya, no? Sagot mo. May 5? Sagot mo. July 4, pati may iba. Okay, December yan. Ay, Diyos ko. No, sorry, ang sagot ko. Ang sagot ko ay apple. Yung from, kailan daw nagsimula? Diba? Pakinggan niyo.
Okay, let's have a look then. What do we have to do?
Let's fill in the top first. Let's see. Course code.
It's communication in business.
Okay. Communication in business. I do know that, but what's the code?
CB16 something. CB162, isn't it?
That's it. Okay. And dates.
Did we start?
When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
It was the day after. It was been May 5th. Saan nyo nakuha yung 5? 5th nga eh, di ba? So pati yung TH, isusulat nyo. Again ha, regardless of whether your answer is 5th May, 5 May, May 5, May 5th, tama siya. Either ha, wala namang format na susundan eh. Pero it's safer kung ano yung narinig, kung May 5, May tapos 5. May 5th, May tapos 5 tapos TH. Clear? Okay.
Now turn to section 3.
That's it. Okay. And dates. When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
Gosh, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No. And we finish at the end of this week on Friday, so that's July 15th.
16th.
Oh.
Monday was the 12th.
Yeah.
Right, that was the easy bit.
16, TH. Clear? Again ha, huwag kayong papabiktima sa mga ganong minor inconsistencies. Kasi, bawat puntos dito mahalaga, sayang. Sayang ha? Okay. So, that will be the end of our lecture. Thank you so much. Ayun, no, may sagot sila. Sabi ni Jennifer, July 15 to July 16. Jennifer, pumasok at kukurting kita. Si Joey, ganun din. Sabi ni Mary Grace, May 5, July 16. Mary Grace, salamat sa mga kagaya mo. No? Okay, so salamat po sa mga nanatili sa ating lecture. Eliza, Anwar, Carlo, Janine, Jennifer, Joey, Mary Grace, and Sai. Have a nice day. God bless and good luck. Bye.